counter the plan that Nikki has. And it isn't just about who has control over Blue Jeans. That's the truth of the matter. It isn't just about Blue Jeans. Here will set the tone for other things that will happen in the company in the future. If they allow Blue Jeans to just terminate their contract without any kind of consequence, that any other group that will be joining them, or artists for that matter, can knows that if they throw a time job, they can just terminate the agreement without any kind of consequence. That's one. They have to think about this, the psychological effects of this. They have to think about the economic, how they will be projected in the media if they treat Blue Jeans badly, if they don't listen to them at all, if they do everything without any kind of compromise, they are going to be projected as a harsh, heartless company. And people are just going to say, oh, you're no different from any other company. So they have to think about all of these things. Next, attack my strategy. That's actually what it means. The best way to win is to attack the enemy's strategy, not their armies. Okay, listen to that. It's best to attack their strategy, not their armies. It's better to disrupt their alliances, undermine their plans, and make them surrender without a fight. So if all Hyde does is to go after all of their opinions, the reporters, the fans of Blue Jeans, the theories of Blue Jeans, and try to attack them one-on-one, it's going to be costly. More importantly, you're actually not the source of the problem. Their minions, the reporters, everybody's citing for them, everybody's getting paid. Those aren't the problem, they're the result of the problem. So what Hyde has to do is to get to the source of the problem and destroy that. And the strategy is on Nikki. So they have to go after Nikki, know how she's actually doing all of this, her networks who's supporting her, and try to attack that. Okay. Next, tactical disposition. Positioning your forces in such a way that you can respond to the enemy's moves effectively. This involves flexibility and adaptability. And at this stage, practically, it is impossible for them to just have one strategy and stick to it all the way through. Because things are changing, they have to change their strategy so that they can adapt to what she is doing. So remember, in the beginning, it was just to see how the fight is evolved. In the beginning, it was just her accusing Hyde of copying her strategy. She said, "Oh, source music copied my strategy. We did that, copied my strategy." That was how it started. And so when she got caught, she said that because she got caught, and that was her strategy to try and destroy the reputation of Hyde. After that, it has now evolved. Remember what we are talking about now. It is now Hyde versus Blue Jeans. She's now out of the picture. That's how she was able to manipulate, and that's how she was able to evolve her strategy. From her, being the person that's trying to destroy Hyde and take over a war, it is now Hyde trying to undermine and destroy Blue Jeans. And if Hyde does not respond accordingly, they're going to lose. So they have to make sure that they're also evolving, their strategy is evolving according to how Blue Jeans is evolving their strategy. Weak points and strong points, knowing when and where to attack, understanding that every position has its strengths and weaknesses. So this is another thing that's very, very important. There is absolutely nothing that is flawless. There is no flawless strategy. They can't do anything that will not have a consequence. Whether they fire Nikki Jin, they put her back, fire Blue Jeans, or keep them, all of that, all of those things, every action they lead has a weakness and a strength. It has pros and cons, and they have to be prepared for both. Maneuvering. This is another strategy. So how to move your forces in such a way that you gain strategic advantage without fighting. This involves deception, diversion, and strategic positioning. And that, my friends, is the reason why they are trying to keep her. Because you don't want to fight. You would rather deceive, diverse, and strategically position yourself so that eventually you can keep her. If Nikki Jin is a member of Hyde or Adore, she can't do anything that will undermine the value of the name of Adore. The minute she does it, she loses all leverage, she loses everything, and she can go to jail. So it is better to keep her close. It is better to keep her on a leash so that they can watch her every time, all the time, instead of setting her free and allowing her to do everything that she can without having to face brutal consequences. Okay, terrain, understanding the terrain and how it influences military tactics, different types of terrain that require different strategies. So as I mentioned earlier, things are evolving. It used to be just about featuring Hyde. Now it is Hyde trying to destroy Blue Jeans. That's how she manipulated the narrative. And Hyde has to actually adjust to that. They have to make sure that they are ready with all the strategies, with all of their plans in this new space that she put the battle in. Okay, now there was a picture that there was a rumor that was going around that she actually opened her own office. Now, if it was an Adore office, that is illegal. She can't do that because that would be a breach. If this is her personal office, there's nothing illegal about that. Just want to make that clear. So even though, for example, I have a full-time job, I'm working for my boss, if I open an office in the name of that company without his consent, then I can get fired as breach of contract. But if I open an office that is just mine, he has nothing to do with that. He is very icing. So it seems that she's very open about the fact that she actually opened her office, and that is fine. So, for as long as she doesn't make it appear as if it is Adore, then it should be fine. So just a recap, the reason that Nikki Jin, that Hyde has decided to keep her, is to keep her close so that they can control her, rather than allowing her and setting her free and not knowing what her next move is. daily. But there are others that are speculating that the most that maybe Hype isn't actually counting on renewing the contract of Nutrients. And what they're simply doing is making sure that since she started this and Blue Jays actually wants to work with her, then they will just let it happen and enjoy the income that they will get from them. That's a possibility that they are not expecting them to renew their contract. But I do think that they are also entertaining the thought of Blue Jays finally realizing what it is that they are missing if they continue to work within the umbrella of Hype. That's a possibility. If remember that he didn't want to be able to fully control Blue Jays anymore. She is going to be the producer, she's going to be a member of the board, but she doesn't call the shots at the end of the day, or the CEO. And so that will give Hyde a chance to actually expose the genes to other groups within Hyde, the other system of Hyde, and maybe just maybe one, two, or three, or maybe all of them will realize what it is that they're missing by just working with BPJ. So that's still a possibility. I wouldn't put it past them to want to do that and to have a clear path towards that. So that's why I think they decided to do it. It is better because they will be able to control her. Alright, let's go through some of your comments. Are you PK or are you the Korean blogger? Who has that? Some. Wow, I can't read your name. um, Josie said, okay, let's have look for some questions. It makes sense, but we want to see her punished. How can I do that? Because she's going to make a mistake. The other day, I posted on Twitter, if you actually follow me someone is going to end up in jail. So it's just a matter of who, but someone's going to end up in jail. I just look at, I can forgive and not about that. I'll probably be able to forgive, but I will not adjust for someone who said those things. Because, you know what I'm going to say it next, right? Because I trust for people who they are. So if you are the kind of person who can think about other people that way, then I know that you will think that way about other people. And look, I do get that people grow, that people evolve, I get that. But those things, those are poor. That's one. Second, it isn't like she didn't do it again. Even at the time when she's already close with the members, she did it to other people. If you can do it to other people, you will do it too. I think Koreans will have less following in Korea. If anyone said the stuff that HJ said to the girls, to my younger cousins and nieces, I would get that in them. For sure, yeah. I definitely, I just can't. I can't. I really, I can't wrap my, it's so unbelievable that their parents would allow this. My mom always said that we are still similar to how we are as children. The spots can change, but the spots will still be there. Yeah. Returning to normalcy away from the spotlight would help them breathe. Yeah, I agree. I hate a female's response to John Doe's supportive message. The thing is that we don't know if it's a response to John Doe, right? To John Doe's message. Blue jeans, and you have to give her benefit of that. Blue jeans parents also feel their daughters. I think all adults feel that, quite honestly. Even I think the moment, I am still very surprised that no one is actually fighting against her for child abuse. I can't believe no one is actually fighting against her for child abuse. I did beautiful, I think, Conjure. I did not watch. Oh wait, yes, I watched that. Yes, they were great. I have no benefit of that certificate. Nangune must be so frustrated at me for giving, or I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. I was wondering about that. Movies has so much of MHJ in them that it would be hard for them to see anything other than MHJ. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who are. Here, Cash Cows. Do you see the video clip of Annie and Mindy today? I saw that. My first thought, this is my first thought after I saw the video. Their kids so immature. That was my very first thought. I was like, they're so immature. Maturity will tell you that you don't say anything like that. Actually, don't talk about something like that after. This is the parliament you spoke. You were in. And it wasn't like you were there to celebrate or whatever. You were there to file the yes, you hear your argument or whatever. So I thought that you just don't do that. There were other people there. You need to respect those people that were there. So that was you guys would understand, right? That was my first thought when I first let me try and articulate it better. The first thought in my head when I saw the video is that they're kids and they're very mature. A mature person would know that there were other people there who were humiliated. And even though you're very angry at this person who was humiliated, you would have some consideration and some humanity to try and address the issue so as not to further humiliate the other person. But they were out there to actually put some more fuel to the fire, which is a behavior of a kid, not a mature person. So that was my first reaction. That it was very immature. Second is that they should have known that there were other issues, complaints, Koreans about more important issues that the parliament are not addressing. The death of 10 employees, they didn't address that. There's still some corruption cases against the first lady. There is supposedly, so I just actually learned about this, that South Korea is approving penalizing 21.5 hours per day. And all of these things, they should have known to be bigger than their issue. And so if only for that, you should have kept quiet and realized that you did get a special treatment because you're here complaining about bullying when there are 22 people dead and an entire country who's being told that if their employer wants them to work for 21.5 hours a day, they better do that. But they didn't seem to care about that, or they are not diligent enough to actually do their own research. So all of those things come together. That's why I think they are kids. This is just immature and they're kids. The assembly membership. Annie was all smiles for a selfie with the CEO responsible for 5 deaths just this year. 5 deaths just for this year. But had so much vitriol for a woman who really hasn't done anything to her. Yeah, that's why I think when I first saw that, I was like, they're just kids. Tail wagging the dog, shaking my head so much. Okay, and then why haven't their parents filed a complaint about child neglect? Their parents filed a complaint against child neglect. If they had a genuine sense of self-worth, they would have already taken a stand against their parents. Okay, I feel sorry for low-level legislators. Okay, have you heard about what happened with Jessie? Suddenly shifting the topic, but have you heard about what happened to her? I didn't even know that this was happening. No, yes, okay. So she was called in for questioning at the police station, and she was there for like extended like more than 7 hours or something like that. She was being questioned. So this is why she was being questioned. Um, so this is her. All right, that's her. Apparently, this guy. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but the guy that is blurred, but not the one that's standing in front of her, he's a fan, and he's a minor, 17 years old, and he was asking for a picture with her, which so she said no. Okay. So now this guy in front of her sort of exchanged words with the guy, the fan that was asking for a picture with her, and before you know it, they were like fighting, and Jessie was trying, so they were arguing, so Jessie wasn't done, she was trying to hold the guy back, and then eventually, so there is this guy standing very close to the camera. The one behind him is actually Jessie, and the one that Jessie is holding is the guy that punched the fan. Okay. So he punched the fan that was asking for a picture. So as you can see, Jessie did try to stop what happened. There is no audio, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, there is no audio. So eventually she left. She left the scene. Now, remember in the other slide, she said, I hope they quickly find the person who hit them. I hope they are punished. I will tell the police everything as it happened. It was the first time I saw the attacker that day. So many took it that she was saying she doesn't know the person at all, the one who punched the fan. In the questioning, it appeared that the manager of Jessie actually introduced Jessie to that guy, the guy that punched the fan. And so people are saying that Jessie lied because she's implying at first that she doesn't know the other guy. When in fact, she knew the guy. It's just that she knew him that day, when they met that day. She left. Her agency dropped her already. She's been with them for 1 month, and then they dropped her, and allegedly she left the country already in extradition. So people are putting the different things that happened to Jessie to serve as an evidence on how poor allegedly her character is. They're saying that the mere fact that she keeps on changing agency, she's been changing agency for several years, very, very important. It is proof that she doesn't have a very good character, otherwise you're going to stick it out with your agency. Second is that the most mentioned criticism is that she implied at first that she didn't know the person who punched the fan at all, when in fact they met that day, they've been spending time. They were together that night. So I don't know if it is true that she left, but someone told me that she left the country already. I didn't realize her agency dropped her. Yeah. I was so surprised. You are the company. To be honest, but the thing is, she only met the guy that day, as expected of fans. I don't think that's right. Didn't she meet the other agency to create differences? Um, she doesn't usually say like why she would leave an agency. People are, I mean, I'm assuming that it's a different, like it could be business differences or data differences. But to me, okay, so if there's any HR practitioner who's in this chat, maybe you can shed some light on this. On paper, if you see an applicant that keeps on changing their job or their company, it's kind of a red flag. Because why aren't you staying within one company for long? Like this is a trend people leaving. Now, but the thing is that there is always, we're an outsider in this thing, and it's very unfair for people to just assume that just because she can't stay long for one agency means that there's something wrong with her. We don't know, right? So, the people are using that against her. They're saying that no one can stand you. That's why you're a horrible person. That's why you keep her, which I think is so unfair because we don't know the answer. So it could be that she simply has some standards and the companies that she has been signed under doesn't meet that standard and she doesn't want to compromise. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you know your worth and you're being treated independent, then you should, why do you have to hear that, right? You are funny. It's such a important thing to say. Someone is just, okay, fast. Jessie is controversial for height. She's pretty girly for a Korean woman. I think she can have her somewhere else. Yeah, I do think that maybe I thought that she was a perfect match with P Nation, the agency of Psy, but she also left. So I don't know what is it that she's looking for. Maybe just having her will be better for her. Maybe a US label will be better for her. That was just an excuse to fire her. Fire Jessie. In the US, staying with a company for a long time is no longer a bonus. Nowadays, young ones jump from one company to company because they are offered better wages. She seems like a very independent person, doesn't like BS from anyone. That's how I see her. Like if she feels like she's not being treated the right way, why wear that, right? I'm all for that. Like don't allow yourself to be subjected to something that you know you don't deserve. There's a caller bystander video from a different people, and he was saying like a seemingly French person in the group. For me, it's not for her. It must be tiring to be a celebrity South Korean. have to be a certain type in order to enjoy that kind of culture. Sai is too controlling. Look at how Wasa has changed under this direction. Someone told me that. Someone told me that. Like, because I'm a Mama fan, so my favorite groups, number one is Twice, second is Mama. And that's why I follow and I support all four members. And they were like, don't you notice how Wasa has changed under this direction? She her music has changed. She needs to go to Pride and be promoted in the West already just starting Korea. Unfortunately, as a public figure, she needs to vet her entourage properly and not just to trust the friend of a friend. I feel like there is so much restrictions in Korea. That, yes, there's a lot of restrictions. I agree. I think Jessie will do better in the States. Her personality is too strong for Korea. Jessie's so talented. I really want her and RMP woman. As someone you just met the same day, you won't consider them a friend. You don't know the person yet. I think that is why she said, I only met them that day. That is what she meant. Because she just met the guy that day. Not that she didn't know the other person altogether. They just misinterpreted what she said. I'm surprised Jessie has not opened her own company. It's hard. It's really hard to open your company. You have to think about the PR side of it, legal things. Maybe I should do like a rundown of the expenses. And then of course like it's expensive. A lot of people think that if you're a business owner, like you don't have to work and your workers are just working for you. If you're the business owner, you will work hardest if you want things to actually go well. You're going to work hardest among everyone else. So if you're the hardest and the owner of the company, you won't work. She's BFF with Tiffany of Rose Revolution. She launched her own independent label, Uni, in September 2024. Please do. People have no idea how an agency works. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Maybe just the basics. Like, if you want to put up a agency, you want to replace it. In the beginning, like, what kind of connections do you build or whatever. And I can't speak on this because Asian entertainment culture and goal of Asian entertainment culture is to actually help artists from Asia to come here and find resources and opportunities here. So I'm laying the groundwork for artists in Asia. So I am actually experiencing what it takes as we speak to set all of that out. She would be a good fit for having their income. I think it will come and they'll be in for a massive shock. What is it whisper? So they whisper there, responding to what you said. You also need to have a mind for business. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, if you're a business, if you're the owner of the company, you're going to do a lot of what people will receive and that kind of thing. And you're going to have to do that for a company. I can tell you as a business owner myself, the one thing I hate the most, if nothing comes close, is firing people. Especially if I'm firing a kind people. It is the worst feeling in the world. Especially if the people, sometimes you do have to fire people who didn't do anything wrong. They did their job, but you still have to fire them. And I like the experience that I had to, because the position wasn't good anymore. People, technologies were developed that I didn't need them anymore, and they didn't have any skill. I didn't have at that time any need for that person in the company. I couldn't put them somewhere else because I didn't have any need. That's one. Number two, I'm going to do an injustice to do something that isn't their area of expertise because they won't thrive. So I'm just going to be setting them up. So the question is, then why did I fire that person? Because I had to for the company. I can reallocate the amount of money that I'm paying that person. I can reallocate it something else to grow the company. So the truth is that person didn't do anything wrong, right? She was very good at her job. It's just that technologies were developed. It came to a point I didn't need that person anymore, and that sucks. That is so hard. But what can I do? I need to grow the company. I also need to think about the other people in the company, right? So it isn't easy to get employed. A lot of people think that, oh, you're the owner of the company, you're rich, and you're good. No, if you're the last person to get paid, you have to pay everybody else before you pay yourself. If the company isn't bringing a lot yet, especially in the beginning, most of the time you don't really get paid until like years after. Just because it's an American people doesn't mean she will fit better there. Even American artists have to toe the line at their people. True, it isn't media. I'm sure that many of you are business owners yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. We're never paid yet. True, never paid. When I put up my own business, I did not get paid until 2 years. No, 2.5. And then I was getting paid. Like I started paying myself when I could afford it already. I started paying myself $500 a month, $500 a month. And just to give everybody an idea, in California, minimum wage is $70 per hour. I was like, anyway, and I was the owner of the company. So for 2.5 years, I wasn't getting paid. When I finally got paid, I was like getting paid $500 a month. So it was like, just because you own the company, that you're drowning in cash. The skill set of the business side of things is and respect. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So what business did you do? I'll let you know today. I can tell you the vision. I eventually want to bring in artists from other parts of Asia into the US so that we can easily find opportunities to have an audience for them. And I'm not just talking about like musical artists, I'm talking about writers, cartoonists, and people. The theme fan is also very creepy. Jesse already said no. Oh yeah, the fan that asked for a picture. How threatening the issue of war? The issue of war is between North and South, including the Soviet Union will go back in. Okay, so everyone served in the military. They're actually on office every 1 year. So I think once every year they go back for a check, like if you're healthy enough and whatever, so they report just report and just get checked. If they are, and so that they're basically on reserve, and they go back so that the military will know whether or not they are still able to serve. And so that goes on for 7 years. So they will keep on reporting for 7 more years. So they are, as I said, on reserve. that's the gist of what I was trying to say. So if anything happens, they hold them in, they still be all back because they are on reserve. Okay. Have to leave my grandma for you to visit? Oh, it's a trick. Say hi to your grandma. Why don't you bring her to the screen so that we can say hi to your grandma? I need to even sell my own crafts, lots of work just to do that. Exactly. A lot of people don't know that. Just for like, and it is the smallest things that are most irritating, like barcodes, setting up your store in different online stores, moving your books. I hate those things. I'm not very well versed in hip-hop artists. I tend to know who someone just because they come into BTS's work. I think they're giving so much credit. Adults can also be immature. Immaturity is not necessarily age-driven. I agree. RJS. One hopes they mature as they grow up further. Just Hype doesn't stifle creativity, if anything, at least personality. They are one of the best at giving their artists creative freedom. Okay, so sorry, I see someone already for me. Hi, Bellatrix grandma. I think she left. I hope Bellatrix will bring her grandma to you so we can say hi. Under the threat of war, all able-bodied men can be cultured. Marketing your own product is hard. It is very hard. I just googled if Jay Hart is still signed to JC label Rock Nation, so I'm sure he doesn't display that attitude with him or other labels in America. I agree, firing people is hard, but it's nothing personal. You need to think of the company and the process. Yeah, but a lot of people don't understand that. Like they will take it personally. They don't, especially if the person isn't the kind who would try and put yourself in the other person's shoes. They see that. In business, you cannot all be creative and no business. Look at RM and Del Factory. It's true. And Mr. Chita, I believe the thing is after she was military service. I hope so too. Okay, let's see. K-pop Western collaboration. Oh, what do you think? Have you heard the Bruno Mars Rosé collaboration? Hello from Las Vegas. It's too late about MHG. Sorry, we talked about it, yes. I'm just trying to go through all the topics that I missed that we'll talk about. We do have to treat it. You didn't like it? Why not? It's a fun video. So treat without alcohol now. I believe the reason SK doesn't work for Jessie is because she is too much in her masculine energy. It was just okay, like it. The Rose song is not my style, but it was catchy and well-produced. I believe Jessie already picked her own label. I love, as you know, if you were a follower of my chart, of the members of Blackpink, she's actually my favorite. I listen to Rose. I have both her songs in one of my playlists. So, and I also always had this like impression that she's the one that's really into music, like not more than anything, any other aspect of their stardom. Rose is the one that's really watching music, and so that's why, and that's important too. And so that's why I gravitated towards her. So I listen to both of her songs. It's in one of my playlists. So in this, and obviously, who hates Bruno Mars? Of course, she's a great songwriter, she's a great performer. And so when they announced their collaboration, basically, I was really looking forward to it. And then I listened to it, and I agree, it is well produced, it's fun, very repetitive, so it could be everything. But I don't think that Bruno Mars set out to create a masterpiece. This is definitely, I wouldn't consider this to be like one of his best works. But it is nice, like it's a good song. I don't mind listening to it. Like if it goes on, if I'm just listening and then it gets pushed to me, I will not stop it. But it's also not something that I will seek out. And so I think Bruno Mars just wanted to create like a fun song, and that's what he did. He created a fun song. Rose didn't participate in the songwriting, but it is a fun song. Bruno and BTS, yeah. They have half of Silk Sonic. They work with half of Silk Sonic. Anderson Paak is the other half, so maybe they can go to the other half now. One part annoys me. Which part? I love Dying This Time. I have to say that from Dying This Time to this, but it's still a good song. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good song. Of all the releases of Blackpink members, this is the one I like the most. That tells something better. They said Bruno is worth. Why would he be broke? That's odd. Okay, who said that there was a part that you MGM denied it. Bruno Mars listened to 15 million in gambling bets. It's not true. That's the extent of my research. Just Google it once and I assumed. So it seems that if, at the very least, the hotel itself, the casino itself is denying it. She didn't participate in the songwriting under her own. Oh, she did. Okay, great. That is great. I thought he admitted it. I like On the Ground. I do love On the Ground. That's my favorite song. Fun bit, but it doesn't have enough Bruno songs. Yeah. Aaron collab with Andrew Santana was the live. I remember, right? Yes. Yes. So that's why I said BTS is already on one half of the song. Let's get to the other half. I'm going to say that she was just joking to say something like, if you were in debt to the casinos, we would never have let it go. And I like Bruno and Cardi B collab more than Jose. But wouldn't a casino be out there admitting it? True. But then if he was anything to the casino, he would have a show in the casino right now. to get that way. Yeah, MGM denies it, but why would MGM say it was true? Also, MGM has been hotels in Vegas and elsewhere, not just that could be true. That, yeah, you're right. I mean, you have a point. I really enjoy Still Life. I love Still Life. Although in Indigo, my favorite song of our end is Closer. Have you listened? I think it is a disservice to our niece that was the used as a single. I'm going to file a complaint to the Korean Parliament that they didn't release that as a single. I love Closer because I do love the voice of Paul Blanco. I listened to many of the songs, so when they collaborated, it was like, yes, Closer is great. The change point two is whispered. My team out with that. No, I actually, in Indigo, I love a lot of the songs there, so I can choose actually. But I just feel like commercially, I'm not just kidding, okay? I just feel like Closer would have been commercial hit and we used it as a single. Their non-version of Closer was beautiful. Yes. I work in a casino and the bar from entry to the old that much. According to the workers, well, I love it. So MGM has no reason to lie about it. If you owe me money, I could work you until the debt was paid. You owe me my say. Aaron introduced me to Blanco. I like his voice. Beautiful voice, right? There's the things that you can do with that voice. I wish he did more collaborations with commercial artists until he actually gets the kind of respect. So they're talking about Paul. Aaron didn't seem interested in promoting Indigo commercial. True. And I think we got the answer right. He said that when he did Indigo, it was more like he was forcing himself into a specific mindset, and he let it all out. Manifesting BTS and this biggest residency. Careful, they're going to say that you're forcing. I'm kidding. You are still live. I am still live. Yes, I want your guy involved Blanco. Yes. Try playing the sequence hard 8, Big Love, Die with a Smile, then Astronaut is the story. I will do that. Okay, so hard 8, Big Love, Die with a Smile, then the Astronaut. Eating and typing is my words. Be and called Blanco. My dream, not my dream, and I'm actually going to do this. Maybe I'll do this later. I actually want to do live streaming for the song yet. I just want to be in my PJs. I'm going to watch a bunch of shows, watch and listen to music videos, TV shows, movies. Just do a marathon stream, and then you just, if you need to go, you just go and then just come back. I really want to do that. I want to do that, like a marathon stream, and I will just whatever. Only idols have to live up to SV's impossible for us. And your question song, like BTS, it's already 1 a.m. What time would that be? I don't know. I just like I want to start when I wake up. I want to eat breakfast with you guys, and then start like whatever. If I will take you with me when I walk my dog, and then have lunch. Whatever, every entire day, basically, and then sit down and just watch movies, TV shows, check out different movies, music videos, different artists that you recommend. I'll just do it like until I fall asleep. That's my dream. I'm hoping BTS will have a studio residency. Any things you want to suggest? If they're going to do a residency, I hope that they do investigators just because the entire city is set up for things like this. So, like, if we're all going there, we're not going to think about transportation. Transportation is not going to be a problem. Hotels going to be a problem. There's like a host of options for you. You can do 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star hotels. If you want to say Airbnb, there's lots of, so I think Vegas will be an ideal place for that. I do hope that if you're going to do it in one place, you shouldn't do it the same every day. Because this place is just not met with something like that. So Vegas, I think, is the most ideal. I love that they just sing each other's songs. They sang the So Far Away chorus in one of the concerts, right? Who saw the rose and driven with the epic? Yeah, actually, okay. What? I'll let the baby monster come back. Who likes baby monster? LA was Wordle. Actually, it's always Wordle. LA is just Wordle, period. You don't have to go period anyway. I wonder concerts remixes and in an album. I did. Those tickets were. I wish I had army friends to travel with. I don't want to go to Vegas by myself. Or Miss Squirrel, you can just tell us and we will deal with you. If they do a residency, they just have to be a resident of Vegas. You watch them every night. Okay. And said they don't like Baby Monster. Nope, not my cup of tea. I'll let you do the answer. I'll come to me. I will go with you. Baby Monster doesn't appeal to me. I'll rent a house and live there. That's probably what I'll do. I'll rent or buy and then just move there. I'll live over Baby Monster, to be honest. I think so. I actually like, so my favorite Baby Monster is Sion. I just think she needs some voice lessons because she just had a wider range. But she screams when she gets the high notes. So she needs to control that voice so that she will sing instead of scream. But I also think that YG has made it a habit to create girl groups in the mold of 21. So Baby Monster is one of them. I mean, Blackpink is molded in 21. I think Baby Monster is the same. So I hope that if there's anything Young Yoon Suk would have learned is for him to try a different kind of identity outside of 21. Because the girls are, in all fairness to them, they're really talented, they know how to sing. Perhaps not so much good as singers, they're really good. So, and Ryan, I mean, I've seen her perform, her commitment to performing is just unbelievable. So I hope that they actually are able to discover their own identity outside of what is being pushed to them by Young So I like the girl group Mold. They are, in my opinion, I love so my bias is Ella Ross. But just like, and I mean, this is also people drive it. I think they're still sort of trying. They're still finding their identity themselves and who they are as artists. And I think that's also something that Desiree, for example, went through in their first 18 months. Now Desiree is coming into their own. Like they are discovering who they are as artists slowly, and it's also making their identity as a group who they are. So I think the Big Monster will go through the same process where they will slowly learn who they want to become, like learn their strengths, their weaknesses, and then start discovering their own identity. So I am sure, I mean, that's what happened with Twice, and that's one of the things that I love about them. They came into their own. They started participating in the writing of their own music. They started creating their own creativity, their own creative moves. And I see that happening and Mama Boy is the same thing. They also started just following the agency until eventually they started taking control over their own creatives. And I see it in Wizard and now. They are starting to take control over their own career, what they want to do. And it is always a good thing to belong to an agency that actually allows you to do that. So for example, in JYP, it was actually shocking that JYP, the owner, the founder, actually started allowing the girls to write their own songs. And the cool thing about what he did is that he allowed the girls to compete against professional writers. So it wasn't like, okay, we're going to reserve this song to the girls, they can write this. No, they were given the melody and the theme, and they wrote the lyrics, and they were just competing against other professional writers. So when their lyrics made it to something, it made it visible to them. And then Mama Mo was the same thing. When they started coming to their own, the CEO actually let go, and he allowed the girls to just take control over their own creatives. And Source Music is actually the same thing to Reserve, specifically to Eugene, because she seems to be one that's most interested in writing and producing. They allowed her to use her own songs, they allowed her to perform solo. So all of those things, I think, is their effort to try and just not push the girls, but allow the girls to sort of grow on their own. So I'm pretty sure that Yang Yang actually with this will produce in Bali. They're still very young, still finding their way, but I think eventually they will be allowed to participate in the production and the creative process. So I'm looking forward to that, and that is the reason. I think that is one of the considerations when I look into a girl group and who it is that I end up liking. It is that when the girl group themselves, because it's so saturated, right? The market is so saturated. So when the girl group themselves, if I'm seeing that they actually have a creative contribution in their career, I tend to like them. And that is why I ended up liking Twice and Mama Boy and now Desert because I'm starting to see it. Now for IELTS, the one thing that I really love about them is the lower, which we know is actually developed by National and the creative team of Hyde. But I love, as you know, I'm a writer, and I love this fantastical kind of genre, and that's where they are headed. So that's what attracted me to them. Whether or not they're going to come to the girl, I'm pretty sure they will. We'll see. But that is what I look at whenever I watch a review. Is this someone that has control over their own creatives and is the quality actually of the quality? Have you seen TXT teasers? I have not. Are they good? Can you explain how the South Korean military, as far as Jong and are concerned, and how their positions are confidential? A lot of misleading videos are out there depicting the JMJP on what JMJP are doing. Many of the things that you're hearing. Okay, so I don't really listen to the solos. So I don't know what they're talking about. So if there is something that you want to clarify, ask me. But the truth, there aren't a lot of things that we know about what they're doing there. We know that Jim is in the artillery and Jong is in the division. They're still serving under the same division. They're still sleeping in the same quarters. They're still buddies, but in other words. And they will most likely be buddies at the end of their term. So just because you are buddies doesn't mean that you have to be get the right. So Jimin is in the artillery. We all know that he's very good at that, and that there is a reason. So the artillery, you're in charge of the ordnance, not just weapons, but all sorts of ordnance in the military. He's strict in new strategies in relation to geographical locations and something like that. So that's what he's doing. That's why they call it base of the artillery. Jimin is a spotter. That is one of the things that he's doing. Yes, one of the things that he's doing. And then Jungkook comes in the kitchen because it's nobody else's business, but he wants to do it. He wants to be in the kitchen, so he's in the kitchen. So, but they are serving in the same division in the same unit. Now, just because Jungkook is in the kitchen doesn't mean that he is not going to be called on the field if there is something wrong. And also, training does not mean that he doesn't train in other things. Okay, it's just that his regular job is to be in the kitchen. He's not there 8 hours a day. He can go through trainings. It's just that his job is to be a great goal. Jimin work. The kitchen work takes muscle. I think it's very important. Everyone's going to drop dead. Everyone's going to go. They probably get lots of time by themselves. It's his tattoos, JD, which is ridiculous. Plus, it's very important for the troops because he loves smoking. We love smoking. Now we don't. We can see that. In our shirt. BTS is the only group I keep up with. There's other songs by groups I like but don't follow anything about them. Like who? Or the other groups that you like? Yes, Jungkook cooks very well. Tried one of his recipes already and it was a bomb. What did you try? That okay, too fast. Any army marches on its stomach. Wish there was a vinyl version of you. There was a vinyl version of you. Wasn't there? Good morning, 12:20 here in Texas. Hi. It's 10:20 here. I love Cat's Eye because they're not cookie cutter easy and cool for that. No, you're not cool for anything. The fans are angry because they didn't come to show us discharge, show that Jacob's discharge, and it's because North Korea bombed close to South Korea further. Yeah, so apparently all these were actually, everyone was called back in. When my sister was in the Air Force, they forced her to learn how to drive, so I wondered if they'll be part of his license. The oldest goes with me to concerts and she loves it. I will follow BTS and X, not X3, I love X3. Aloha from Hawaii, hello. I only like a few songs by 17 and 16 generally because BTS would be a music and Jin and Jungkook and R&R all near the place. Nothing they can do, we were with it in spirit. Yeah, there's nothing they, it's not sure why I'm not Jacob. Yeah, I got that very much Jacob. Anybody follow Sitzy? Yes, some of the roles I like, not enough of Queen's Girl. Oh, you follow the roles. You don't follow Itzy. Yes. I think, Itzy for me is one of, I don't think it has some Itzy songs more on hype. I like Itzy. I feel like they're not managed well by JY. I listen to all the Korean songs with follow BTS. You have to do the live stream day. Good morning, see you next live stream. Okay, bye. I will do that live stream, all day live stream, and you just come. You can come in and go wherever you want. Itzy's still around. They're still around. But I think they are not managed well by JY. Like to this day, I don't think anyone has a brand new and kind of that if you need to sustain their living outside of just music. I also think that they weren't given the right material to sing. That's why they haven't been taken off that is commensurate to what their skills are because they're great performers. Isn't JY in trouble? I told my sister, do you mean like in trouble in terms of net profit? 121 for Western Australia. Looking forward to Jin's album. People wrote 4 of the 6 songs and collaborated with Red Velvet. Yes. Sunny in trouble for what? I don't hear much from JYP groups. Well, it's sorry, not it's Twice is I think in preparation to release another album, and I think they'll do one on world tour. And Stray Kids is on a tour. Financially, yes, JYP. I think in the second quarter, everyone was in trouble except for Hyde. And it could be because of the instability in the US market. So, whatever happens in the US, everyone else gets affected. So I think that's part of it. But Hyde is okay. The rest are sort of not doing as great. But I think they are in the process of recovering because Stray Kids is something. And they just sold out here in Japan. It's just completely sold out. I know because my niece, her favorite is Stray Kids. And I was supposed to watch it with her. And she was able to secure a ticket and she sold out in 10 minutes. I'm amazed why she has come broke. Well, they started selling acids. So they better start earning if they don't want to. If they are chapter 11. Remember to pre-order and receive this album. Yes, please. Anybody going to Jungkook's exhibit? I'll get sold over 500 pre-orders. So that's just a pre-order, okay? By the way, if anybody's confused, those are the numbers of albums that were shipped. So that hasn't been bought yet. We still need to wait for them. But industry estimate is that they are surpass 1 million now. 1 million on their first week. I will be following this because it's my number one, that's Stray Kids and Zero Base One. I will see the exhibit on 11/16. 104. Don't be like that. Data, are you a member of my Patreon? Shelly to I will follow BTS. Waiting for Jin's album. You're going on Friday. I am going on the 26th. think that's a Saturday, right? Yeah. Okay, yes. I'm going on the 26th. Um, with few remaining days, I also only have room for BTS and feedback. Can you try to squeeze in one more, Luna? People always follow the new tickets. BTS pop-up store in Manila soon, SM Moa. Ooh, wait, I have my family, relative cousins here in Manila. I would ask you to buy something. So is the still selling SM? No wonder Chris Lee is acting up movies all about Montana. They are still selling. No, wait, they are not yet selling. But it looks like that's where that's what they will end up doing. BTS pop-up store in Moa starts November 1. Okay, I'm going to send some people to buy some stuff. I wish they would bring an exhibit to New York. I'm pretty sure they will. They did not, are they? You squeeze individual songs here and there. Okay, try this Urban and I will. Which ones? Those are my favorite. Stray Kids. Try Stray Kids, God's Menu. I think that is their God's Menu and Maniac. I live in Michigan, never close to the US pop-up store. I don't think you have to buy other groups. I mean, yes, if you don't want to buy it, it's important to popular with your views. Yeah, XG is good. XG is good. Stray Kids are good, but not my son. I'm in Texas. Okay, try. I have other Seraphim. And I did. How about that? Yeah, you're gonna ask your sister to buy for you. Florida, no pop-up speaker. How are you guys in Florida? And 17 years super good. I live in Aurora, Colorado. Okay, so who is that who said that? Like, I have no money. Who is that? So if you remember my Patreon, I gave them a free copy of the book that I actually a guide, not the book, but a guide that I wrote on how to find online work. And this is a strategy that I did myself. So when I was still in the movies, I couldn't work in the US. But when I was still in the movies, and to this day, I've always had two jobs. I've never had just one job. So my other job at some point, upon the recommendation of my cousin, he said that if you want, you can try. Like at that time, it was still called Odesk, not yet Upward. It was called Odesk. He said it's an online job site where you can get projects, short-term, long-term projects. So I started doing that. So I have a full-time job and then I would do part-time work and write or whatever, virtual assistant, whatever I can get. And then eventually I just kept doing it. And then eventually I put my own agency where I would do the projects and then stuff to drop back to other workers. And I just continued doing that. And part of the reason I actually ended up doing it was one of the recruiters that hired me was sort of really supportive, providing some support for the computer. And it was actually very lucrative at some point, even though it was my secondary job. I was earning more there than I was in my job. So if you're interested in getting to know more about like this, what you can do, the different sites that you can sign up on, strategies on how you can secure jobs and whatever, just go to my Upwork and I'll give you a copy. Working online since 2008 and I did Desk 2 is Upwork now, so working online, perfect. Yeah, see? Look at Lara. So there are ways that you can. That's why I said for me, that's not my cup of music. For me, it's like my singing tickets. I hear that a lot as a feedback. Like, oh, it's too noisy. I guess it's generational. Maybe part of it is generational. It's fine. If you don't like this, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, oh, this is Upwork now. Right? Yeah, now I'm the one hiring in Upwork. Full circle. I'm upset when JJ did, well, not full circle. I'm upset that when JJ didn't do I was JJ. JJ is good. I would say my favorite of their songs is Dance Menu, once Maniac, and then Taylor Swift, US Tour, and then I took out those seats for 2000. Thank you, I will look into it. Yeah, okay. Oh, you need the book, yeah. So just go to my Patreon, PM. JJ is a tricky, right? Stray Kids are talented and charismatic, but listen to the trick too often to the British talking. Two-thirds of it started to have it on something I like with. Too often feels like they're mashed together to different songs. Upward. Upward. Yeah, right. We still want you to give the mash a try. I promise you one love. Does it have like a English song? I'll give it a try. Today. Do they have a does it have an English song? How do you find work in Upward? The reason why I don't like the most K-pop songs is because of the jury mashing up different songs. JJ was part of the group that did oh the trainee A. Trainee A? Oh, Ariana Green, okay. You're welcome. So trainee A, there were some talks that they recently got disbanded. This part wasn't on Upwork, what they do there. Ariana, what do you do on there? So there are a lot of jobs that are posted, freelance work. Some are long-term, some are short-term. And you can just sign up and bid on the different work, different projects that are there. And for about 3 years, it was actually my major job, especially when I moved to the US and I was here. It was my sort of full-time job that became my full-time job, and I was doing other like side jobs, like Upwork became my as freelance work became my new job. Um, so that's what we do here. So you can work from home. It all goes back to FH3 again. This one. Why would TXT expand their new job? They're not right? I think one of the reasons people feel disappointed with some groups is that they always compare them to BTS. Like, oh, they're not successful because they're not still out. The hell, there are only like, well, I don't know, 19 artists who sold out from me. Not everybody will be able to sell out. So I think stop stop comparing this group to BTS and they'll be like, you'll realize how great they're doing. I guess they just started music for 2 years. Then she said something. And that is fine. I mean, if you don't like a group, that is absolutely great. I mean, absolutely fine. Because endings drain their finances. They have to stand training A. They are so talented. No, apparently she was really said, this is just talk on the street. Maybe I shouldn't say this is have you guys heard of Big Ocean? They're just first putting this up and want to establish a genre called S-Pop, signing language pop. I've heard of that, yeah. I've heard of it. TXT is very good. Their webtoons are good too. I haven't checked out their webtoons, but all of their music I got to check out. They're definitely my favorites. Do not use BTS as the standard for against. Again, stop doing that. Also, it's a disservice to BTS, but they transcended K-pop. So, was there ever a resolution in response to the artists of people hype about the pricing? No resolution. I don't think they can do something about it. Well, maybe they can. But I think the biggest, one of the things that hype is actually to do the ticketing through Weavers. TXT is not disbanding. They're not disbanding. Where did I come from? I really hope they don't do for years. Never, BTS was a perfect storm. Never. I agree. Hype is all training because of what happened to Leo. I think Leo was the main focus of people like our after Leo left, and then the high staff training to make him reconsider everything felt for him. Do you know why Leo quit? Live Nation has a monopoly in the larger venues around the world. TXT is still rising, so no risk of disbandment. I really like their dedication, passion, and effort. My heart is forever so BTS, but I do enjoy TXT as well. I also think that people have to consider the fact that they came after BTS. And that is like, you'll never, in that case, it's like coming after the Beatles. Like, you're never going to win against the Beatles, so simply you're never going to win against BTS. And people keep comparing them to BTS. So I think if people start looking at their achievements on their own without comparing them to BTS, people are going to realize just how great they are doing. And they deserve that. They also deserve to be recognized for the quality of their work. Plus, they did look at them. Yeah, but they people see with them. So they essentially lost like 2.5 years from their group. There's this hyper BTS group, people Walmart. And we don't know how large the fandom is, but again, the music is not. That is okay. Again, if you don't like the group, that is okay. I guess you could still be wrong. Okay, to me, what did I do wrong? Hype can opt out of dynamic pricing, they're choosing not to. I think the BTS official aren't getting the tickets because before general public, right? So our ticket prices are a bit less. If you are, yes. SK Media was called out, but still can compare. I posted it on my ex. The Shadows of J-Fan did not have any issue with the label source music, not credits. Yeah, I don't think they have any issue with source music. They went back to source music. They haven't had even an album, with the exception of their TXT. Good thing I started listening to them at the same time. TXT. They're good. Yeah, I like it. I think they're both problematic. Rap song, Leo. So apparently, okay, past my bedtime. Good night, everyone. Good night. I'm also about to get off. This is 1 hour 38. So I'll stay on for about 2 more minutes. Let me know if you have any questions you want me to answer. 12:30. You have to go. Bye, Kowan. Good night. The cat's eye and YJ of TXT. Got it. Yes, source music fans had issues with source music back then. Good night, Pangula. TXT here. TXT had tickets. Ticket of 45,000. Then that pricing is interesting. Go to bed. While time goes by. What lip color are you wearing? Love it. So I thought this is from South Korea. So it's velvet red or something. Wait. I'm gonna try and get the name for you. I'll try to get the name. I got this in South Korea. It's almost 1 a.m. here. Okay. Do you know about Wendy of Red Velvet making racist comments in the past? Some parties are mad that she is collaborating with Jin. I think that people are going to lash. I don't know anything about that. That's the answer to the question. I just want to make it. I hope that we give people a chance. Let us remember that South Korea is a different culture than that of America. A lot of the things that America considers to be racist is just nothing in South Korea. And that's the same thing. That's the same thing in other countries. Like a lot of the things that we say in the movies are actually racist in America. But I don't want America imposing on our language. The same way I don't think anyone has a right to impose on Koreans when it comes to their language. Now, of course, there are some nuances to that, especially if we are country or the influences. There are different influences to that, but I hope that we are not quick on judgment. That's one. Second is that I don't think it is right to hold something over someone, something that we did once. I just don't support that. So it is let us understand people. I will never tolerate and I will never be racist here. I will follow US culture, US sensitivities, because I am here in the US. So I will follow that and I will respect the culture and the history of this country and the people that are living in it. But when I go to my own country, I will follow our culture there. I'm not going to impose what I know and learn of America to that. And so I hope that we are more forgiving and more understanding when it comes to things like that. Let's hear their side of the story. And also, we have that sort of caution, the understanding that not everything, not everybody knows everything about these things. So, but again, I'm not saying that, oh, that's fine, you can say all of those things that you're saying. You shouldn't. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying let's not be quick in judgment and let's also give them some caution because it is their country. In the same way, I will respect, if I go to Spain, I will respect the culture there. So all humans are flawed. So it's just, I don't agree with things that, oh, she said this once, I will forever angry at that person who has the first one, right? So I certainly am flawed, so I will never ever say that. If you start digging for skeletons in my closet, we're going to end up in the graveyard in this country. So I can never support castigating one person for something, for instance, in the past or ignorance or something. So just that's all I have to say. But again, I will never tolerate any kind of harshness or disrespect of other people. But I also will not be overly judgmental. So I love Wendy. I love her voice, and I wish their single a success, this album a success, and I'm pretty sure that she's going to add value to this album. What's the issue with Wendy? I'm not sure. I got one Japan. Culture is not static; it is dynamic. If something is racist, that has to be discussed. It is not about imposing the N word. The N word is racist, for example. The N word is not racist in every country. There's a lot of countries that will use that word for different purposes. And as I said, you have to also, there's a lot of things that are racist in the Philippines that we do in the US, but Philippines are not able to say those words. The same thing in China. There's a lot of offensive things in China that Americans do here, the Chinese started imposing. So you kind of have to this is an ongoing discussion. I guess that is the best thing to say. This is an ongoing discussion. This is forever evolving. So we have to continuously hear each other, converse, for us to actually coexist peacefully. If we shut out people based on an action, we're not going to unite, right? It's just going to foster hate. So let's continuously discuss this, talk about it, hear each other out, and be patient and be calm. Eventually, we're going to meet in the middle. That's my belief. I believe in the lead us. Okay. The activist wanted the police to not use the N word, but it is a part of their language. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a minute of an hour and 34. I guess I have to go up now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. I hope that you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Then if there's anybody who's going to